Turn toward me, look so weak. I've never seen you with such tired eyes. And everything we said we'd be, we just traded for a suit coat and a tie. And underneath the rows of trees, I will see you where the ocean meets the sky. Under your toes, the fire grows. You are ready for a different kind of life. Just silent for the wind is cold. You must return to the wild. Just silent for the wind is cold. You must return to the wild. Are you ready? I'm walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Feel like a dynamite, ready to explode right up in the sky. I need you to listen, I need you to hear, and don't show any fear. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. to protect your soul.
All right, we are live. What's up, y'all? I eventually need to fill this background. The more and more I see it, the more just like blank and I don't know. I feel like it needs something, so I need to throw up. I mean, I have a poster right there of like a mural of the past NBA players, but I need to put something back there. It's just too empty, and it looks weird. And then you just have my bed that is somewhat made. I'm not the best at making beds, but cheers. All right, I'm back. It's been a week. It's crazy. Not gonna lie, this week has been kind of flying by as well, and it will fly by. But I was out of town for left on. Did I even do a live Tuesday? I don't even know if I did a live. I think it's been longer than a week that done what my hair. But yeah, I can't remember the last time I did a live. It might have been last Thursday. No, not last Thursday, like the Thursday before that. Man, it's crazy. But yeah, crazy week last week. Super busy with like we had class week for work, like in my program, and we also had a case study we did pretty well. And then I left for out of town. I left Thursday night, so went to like a work event, and right after that, immediately left for East Texas to go hang out with my dad and stepmom, and I got home. Well, I left at like 9:30. And I didn't get there because I live in East Texas. It's like 4.5 hours away. Didn't get there till like 2 a.m. And then I had to wake up the next morning and present for that case study. So it was a long day and had fun. They had this thing called the Jamboree out there in East Texas where they live. It's like their county fair, I guess. People from all around the middle of nowhere that they come out to the little tiny city, little tiny town of Gilmer, Texas, and they have their jamboree. They do livestock show and typical like county fair stuff. So that was pretty fun. Was there for a couple days. Had to get their cat out of the tree, which it was up there for like 6 days, 7 days. No food, no water. I have no idea how it survived, but someone climbed up and got it, and it's living and breathing. Um, yeah, and then church on Sunday, came back, did your drive back, and started up with work again Monday. And the craziness starts all over. But pretty good, can't complain. I needed to get a live out for you guys. I know I kept on postponing it and eventually I had to postpone it till today, tonight. So I did it, finally had to do it. But lots of stuff going on tonight. Rangers World Series, they're heading there. Pretty sick. NBA starting up. NBA started tonight. Actually, last second kind of thing. I saw that the Mavs. So I'm a big Mavs fan, being from Dallas, and they had their openers tomorrow night. And coincidentally, sorry, something pop up. Pull it open. But they have their opener tomorrow night, and they actually play against the Spurs, and Spurs are at home, so it's in San Antonio. And I'm like, dude, San Antonio's like only like an hour and a half away. So pulled the trigger, got tickets, and yeah, I'll be there tomorrow night. Not great tickets, but opening night, they're a pretty good price for opening night tickets. Get to see Luka, get to see Wemby for the first time, his first actual NBA game. So I think it'll be pretty sick. It'll be fun. And then tomorrow's already Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday, it's already the weekend and start all over again. It's crazy. And then yeah, the BYU UT game this weekend too, and then just a couple Halloween stuff. Oh, I have to show you y'all this. This is I went out to the country and I came back country. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm gonna clip this hard right now. This is Cowboy Mike. So I actually wanted to get a cowboy hat for a while, and finally got one out there. And I'm gonna wear this. I don't know if I'm gonna. I still don't know yet what I'm gonna do for Halloween costume. Mix between a couple things. One of them could be a cowboy, but kind of leaning towards something else. I'm going to wear this for the BYU UT game. This, jeans, boots, and then I bought a nice BYU polo. So there is my country purchase. I am officially a little bit country. I got boots, I got a hat. I just need a big belt buckle now. It's the only thing I'm missing. All right, let's go ahead and hop into it. Promise you this one is actually not going to be super long. I'm going to just hit the overall overview of AI, impact on society, what AI is. Everyone's talking about it, everyone's raving about it. Doesn't really have to do with AI, but Bitcoin is popping off this past week. It's up like 20%. I'm rolling in the gains right now. I'm still holding on, diamond hands right now. I think it's going to go a lot higher long term. So couple of my purchases have well over 30% increase in profit. So can't complain. Things are pretty good right now. I am spending a lot of money, so I should probably taper off that a little bit. Not following my own advice on lifestyle creep, but that's a future life as well. Let's go ahead and hop into AI. So I actually had one of my viewers, they requested, hey, can you do a video live on AI? And I'm like, sure, why not? I thought I was going to do it later down the road, but more that I thought about it, in work, we're always talking about it too. I listened to some trainings, I listened to some presentations, did a little bit of research, and I've been using GPT for probably like a year now. So love that stuff. So like I said, tonight's going to be just like overview AI. What is it? What is Chat GPT? How can I kind of use it? What are the use cases for AI? And kind of a basic overview. I can hop into different specifics maybe in later lives, but this is a basic overview. So probably 15, 20 minutes, I'll go off. It kind of explains stuff. So, like I said, relatively short live tonight. I want to watch some basketball. All right. What is AI? So, artificial intelligence. It is basically, in order to understand artificial intelligence, there are actually two steps even before artificial intelligence that need to be explained. So, artificial intelligence is kind of the last stage in this large language model, neural network, all these buzzwords I'm throwing out, deep learning, machine learning. So the first stage is deep learning. So deep learning is allowing computers or technology to recognize patterns. So if you think of it, you write a program, it recognizes patterns that, for example, stocks. It recognizes a pattern, the price has been going up for the past 30 days, it's increasing, it's a bullish pattern. All right, price has been going down the past 30 days, recognizes it's a bearish pattern. So just recognizing patterns is basically what deep learning is for a computer and for a program. Now, machine learning is a step above that. So it's not only the computer's not only recognizing these patterns that are going on with this large set of data. And typically, you feed in a large set of data in deep learning. It'll recognize the patterns, tell you what the patterns are. Machine learning will take those patterns, take it to the next step. It will make decisions based off of those patterns. So you feed it information, recognizes patterns based on the pattern. For example, like the stock one, all right, price has been going up. There's some value in it. I wouldn't specifically make this model, but the average person would probably buy the, if it's a bullish pattern in a stock. Uh, so that's machine learning. So it takes step above deep learning, recognizing patterns, actually makes the decision with those patterns. And then artificial intelligence, AI, or generative AI, is the next step above that of machine learning. So not only takes a large set of data, recognizes patterns, and not only can make decisions based off of those patterns, it can continue learning. So the more data and information you feed, it'll learn the different nuances of something. So think of it as, say you have an automation project, and for most automation projects not involving AI whatsoever, it has to be very set and remote. It's like if 1 plus 1 equals 2, then 2 plus 2 equals 4. It has to be rote and nothing really changes or alters. Artificial intelligence, on the other hand, can recognize, like I said, different patterns and different things, even if you haven't told it to, hey, if this slide deck kind of has this sort of content, then you should send an email to these people. Automation is straight just this slide deck sent to these people. When I receive this slide deck, I send it to these people type of thing, or I make these notes. Our AI, on the other hand, this, like I said, step above that. It recognizes all this different stuff, and based off of prior occurrences, prior actions, it'll be like, think of just like directed advertising on whatever site that you get. So say you're YouTube, the YouTube algorithm, they use artificial intelligence, but based off of kind of what your searches are, they can kind of gauge what you'd be interested in. So they'll send you videos you might be interested in, or maybe targeted ads towards you. That's artificial intelligence. It gathers data, recognizes patterns, not only can make decisions based off of those patterns, but continues to learn and adapts as new information and new data is brought in. So as you can see, that is it's like a human essentially, but obviously within specific parameters because it's a computer and bound by code that a human writes. Now that's kind of the different steps. So I said deep learning, machine learning, artificial intelligence. You might hear the term like large language model being thrown out. So those are the different models based off of kind of what you're expecting the AI to do. So different large language models can be used for different stuff. And everyone knows ChatGPT is the big one. That can be used for a lot of different stuff. It's very general, but you can also make different models for specific niches or specific sets of data that are a little bit more concise. And how artificial intelligence works, just like a human being, you input new information, and that learns from that. So based off of that's why ChatGPT, they always say, hey, try different stuff, try typing in different ways. That way, whatever you add to the model, it actually benefits the model, and it can give more accurate outputs, and it can essentially learn by itself by people inputting new data into the model. So ChatGPT is kind of like the first one that really blew up. Now, I love doing different research, and like Google became super popular in the late 90s, early 2000s as a search engine. like AI and specifically ChatGPT is becoming that new search engine. So I think it's really important for you to. It was pitched to me like this. I went to a conference. They were talking about AI, and he was like, if you want to learn more about artificial intelligence and get better at using it, and I'm going to talk about at the very end this thing called prompt engineering. It's very important. It's probably the most important thing when it comes to utilizing AI to its fullest capabilities. Is instead of Googling something, put into Chat GPT instead. That way you can think of different ways of structuring stuff to get a more accurate output in what you're looking for. So ChatGPT, I actually went to GPT. I struggle with that word a lot. But how did the artificial intelligence boom begin? And I asked it use cases for artificial intelligence. I'll actually just share my screen. Let's do this. So the AI boom actually started in the 50s and 60s. Now I'm not going to give you a history lesson on this. You can look it up yourself. You can ask ChatGPT yourself. I'd recommend it. But kind of when it really boomed is 2010s to present, obviously. And you can see like deep learning neural networks. It kind of was a predecessor to machine learning. All this was a precedent to AI itself because those were the first couple steps. Significant AI boom, different companies, institutions, governments heavily investing in AI. And then right now we have the technology for a lot of AI at the moment. Now it's like, all right, how do we use it? How can we make sure it does become bigger than what we can handle, type of a thing. I think I was gonna look up like how did ChatGPT so popular? Because it was crazy. It's like as we live in this digital age and social media age, there's this graph when it shows the amount of time it took for something to reach, I believe, like 10 million or 100 million users. Reach, yeah, 100 million users. And it's crazy. Yeah, it's this one. So it's like how much time it took to reach 100 million users worldwide. Telephone, year of launch, 1878. It took over 70 years for 100 million people to start using the telephone. Mobile phone, obviously a lot less. As you see, technology increases, it just goes less, 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 less. I do have a ChatGPT one. ChatGPT was literally, I believe, in less than a day. Yeah, here we go. Spotify, 11 years. Netflix, 10 years. Airbnb, 8 years. Twitter, now known as X, 5 years. Facebook, 4.5 years. Dropbox, 4 years. WhatsApp, 3.5 years. Instagram, 2.5 years. TikTok, 9 months. ChatGPT, 2 months. 2 months to reach 100 million people using. That's crazy. But that's the world we live in today. Everything spread super fast. How did ChatGPT become so popular? It gives me a lot of information. See, this is why it's important to refine kind of what your inputs are, your prompts, just because I was kind of hoping for a history of ChatGPT instead of like, oh, this is what it's normally used for. Give me a history of ChatGPT and its origins. Let's do that. Okay, so right here, this is actually more of what I wanted. This is kind of the history of ChatGPT and how it became popular. Started in 2018, GPT-1, it's known as, and then kind of going through the different steps of what it did, maybe stuff they added on to make it a little bit better, a little bit more finished product. And the big thing with ChatGPT, I don't have access to it because I don't have the plus version. I have just the free version right now. In the future, I probably will upgrade to the Plus version, which you can add different APIs. So you can add different apps, applications to utilize within ChatGPT. So you can literally ask ChatGPT, hey, in YouTube or in CapCut, cut up this video to do this thing or whatever. And it can do it for you. So it's really cool. And that's one of the use cases for artificial intelligence. You can literally tell it to do stuff for you. So that's a little bit about ChatGPT, the overview of the artificial intelligence sphere in the industry. Now, use cases. I also looked up use cases as well in here. But there are tons of use cases, and people might say, "Oh, AI is going to take over the world. Oh, we shouldn't use it," type of a thing. Honestly, it's like the internet. There's good, there's bad to it. It's a double-edged sword. You just kind of have to use it to the best of your ability. Obviously, some people are going to take advantage of it, like the deep fakes right now with either posting stuff on social media. It's like it looks like someone's doing something that they shouldn't be doing, like a famous person or whatever. It's not actually that person, it's just a fake. They call it deep fake of that person. AI configured a famous person's face onto someone else, and it makes it look like they were doing something. And not only that, but voice deep fakes of people's voices. So there have actually been criminals, thieves that are, or what's the scammers that have specifically with, I think, with old people and parents, but they would get people's voices, and within, I think, like 10, 15 seconds, they could, if the AI heard the voice, they could imitate it and have it say whatever they want. So they did this with kids, and they would call their grandparents or their parents and be like, "Hey, I'm kidnapped. They're asking for a ransom. I need you to send money to this account or whatever, wire money or something like that." They would end up scamming these people and stealing money from them, which is crazy. And then you have all these memes too of deep fakes of like Joe Rogan talking with like Chris Rock and Donald Trump and Joe Biden and Hillary Clinton, and they're all just talking with each other. And Elon Musk, it's crazy. It's super funny, but these are stuff that is really interesting. And then you have the whole art sphere, which I mean, I created my thumbnail using AI with just had my face, and it's like how I create based off of kind of the parameters I want myself to kind of look like this and futuristic cyborg looking thing. So I made it like that. But there's lots of kind of extra stuff, legal issues that could potentially come up. Now, I'm not going to go over all that, but use cases, they're tremendous because think of it as you have computers basically doing what a human could somewhat, because human capabilities for computing and doing work, essentially. So it's really cool. Use cases for AI, a ton. You might think of the traditional business ones, finance, like you can create an algorithmic trading system, credit scoring an AI model can decide who to lend money to based off of what parameters, manufacturing, agriculture, energy, education. I think this is a big one, and we'll see this in the future. We'll just need to make sure no one's controlling that, teaching kids or whatever. Well, they're already kind of teaching them fishy stuff, but personalized learning can adapt to your learning style just because everyone learns a little bit differently. Cybersecurity, entertainment, the legal business. So think of like these big professions like like CPAs, accountants, lawyers, even doctors to a certain extent, that a lot of these are very expensive people because you need, for the most part, human. It's interesting to how these AI models kind of break into these spaces. I think they will, but it'll be a little bit. I think it'll be like 20-ish so years or maybe more before they do. Before, because right now you have a bunch of legal stuff that comes with that. But I mean, if you can have an AI model do stuff for you, it's not going to require human hours, and a computer can run 24/7, 365 days a year. at a fraction of the cost of hiring a real person, then like especially specifically for all like the paperwork and admin stuff, like obviously for an actual lawyer itself, you might want an actual person to defend you in court or whatever. But for all the admin stuff, like for someone doing your taxes, like that easily I could see that in a in our like a model doing that for you. Smart cities. This is a big one too. Just waste management, traffic management, public transportation, healthcare, like I said, or doctors like diagnosing people. Like obviously you won't be able to necessarily administer do surgeries and stuff for you, but they can diagnose you. Just as, like getting advice, health advice from a doctor. Like you can do that using AI. So like, there's a ton of use cases for it, which is really cool, and it'll be interesting to see how kind of this transforms. Even now, you like information wise, think of all the information on Google, but then also to give you a recommendation and build stuff for you, build you a marketing plan, building a business plan for you, clipping videos for you, type of a thing, creating thumbnails for you. It's just crazy the capabilities that it could potentially have for everyone. Now, a couple things where I don't think artificial intelligence will kind of break in. I will never break the personal interaction. Now, obviously, there's like chatbots and sales assistants that you can go on a website and you can actually they're doing this with in several different companies, but they have like a sales assistant and you're like talking kind of chatting with it and it kind of gives you a recommendation of like what you're looking for, which price point. That way you can come to eventually a purchase of a product or service on the website, which is really cool. And you don't have to interact with a person. They even have, I think someone set up, it was like Tesla or something. They set up an AI phone call to like call people that visited the website, built out a Tesla, and almost basically like sell them on the Tesla, which I think is crazy. Like instead of hiring salespeople, you can just have this AI model bot thing, AI person to do it for the salesperson. You don't have to pay them commissions. So it's crazy, and it does a really good job of it. Just ask questions based off of the responses. It gives answers. It's not wrote like it's not necessarily scripted. It uses tons and tons of data, and it probably heard thousands of previous sales phone calls to kind of come up with exactly how a human works. Like if you know nothing about sales, don't know how to call someone for sales or whatever, and you like just you maybe try doing it and you listen to people doing it thousands of times, like you eventually get the gist of how to do it. It's exactly the same thing. But I don't think it will ever penetrate like a personal connection with someone, maybe something like a personal trainer or something where you're like physically with someone and teaching them something. I don't think it will ever get away with that. But simple things that you don't really need face-to-face interaction with, I think it can definitely do that. So think of computer programmers or even like my what I do, finance for certain skills, investment management, portfolio management, stuff like that. Could, yeah, definitely up for grabs. But I don't think it will ever. There are certain people. This is the big fear for everyone is like, oh, it's going to take over my job. I'm going to lose my job because of this. Not if you know how to learn how to use it. Because if you're I'm a finance guy, yeah, maybe all the investment strategy or investment portfolio management has been taken over by AI. But as someone who looks over that AI and understand how it works, I can even more effectively do my job with added tools because it's just added tools to my tool belt that I can use this AI to help clients or whatever, or I can to do further analysis. That's where you need to know what the correct inputs to put in. And that's where it leads to my last topic, which is prompt engineering. Now, you hear all these memes, or at least I see all the memes of people on LinkedIn putting like prompt engineer or whatever. They studied, they got like a master's in prompt engineering from Harvard or whatever. But it's prompt engineering is super important. I'm trying to kind of buffer bulk my skills up, and that's why anytime I Google something, I need to Google something, I'll try to use ChatGPT. Hate saying that word. I'm just gonna say chat. Anytime I can, just because the better you can put an input, like you saw in my example when I was looking at kind of, I wanted to know the history somewhat of ChatGPT, but my input wasn't necessarily the best, or the question I asked wasn't the directly leading to what I wanted. So I had to refine it a little bit, and then I kind of got what I wanted. So prompt engineering is basically narrowing down or knowing what to input into an AI model in order to get the most specific output that you're looking for. And the better your input, the better your output. It's simple computer programming. It's like put garbage in, you're gonna get garbage out. That's what they always say. I'm no programmer by any means, but from what I understand. So the better you can craft your input, the better your output's gonna be. So learning about prompt engineering, I'd love to through my work, I think there's a couple courses I can take, but even other courses, like if you're looking to get into art, or if you're looking to get into algorithmic trading, or if you're trying to get into some, I think everyone should use AI, or at least start using it some sort, because it can definitely boost your productivity in whatever you're doing. And even right now, the technology might not be there yet, but even just knowing how to do a simple prompt, or what prompt engineering is, or specific buzzwords or keywords, just like using Google, you like the quotation marks in order to narrow down your search to what you specifically want. The better you can parse through that, the more effective and the more capable you're going to be. And you're going to be super valuable for someone. Think of back in the day who knew coding, who knew programming, who understood it, or someone who knew how to use the internet, like during the dot-com boom, or even before it, or who knew about crypto even before the mainstream media knew about crypto. Now, people might be saying, oh, it's kind of too late, it's already blown up and stuff, and I might be behind. BS, you're not behind. You're going to be even more behind if you don't try doing it. So I'll leave it at that. Prompt engineering. Learn about it, try it, check it out. All right, just kind of recapped what I talked about, impact of AI. What is AI? Honestly, my story behind AI is interesting. I didn't really know too much about AI, or I didn't really know what machine learning, or large language models, or generative AI, deep learning, all that stuff. It was like a couple years ago, I was doing the focus groups, and I was getting money for them. And one of the focus groups is like AI machine learning. And I was like, oh, I've heard about a little bit about AI. This was like 2 or 3 years ago, and they paid me like $75 for like an hour and a half session of just like answering questions. And I was like, yeah, I learned about it. And they're like, well, what do you know about machine learning? I'm like, honestly, not too much, but I would like to learn a lot more. So it kind of like opened the door for me. And then as I'm seeing this stuff kind of blow up in the mainstream, I'm like, oh yeah, I've heard of that. I knew a little bit more. I knew about it, and that was the time I also did an internship, and I did an automation, and I learned a little bit about RPA and machine learning a little bit more, and then AI kind of blew up this past year. So I was kind of in the mix a little bit beforehand, but not too far beforehand. I know there's tons of people even like tens of years before that, but that's kind of my background and how I kind of got into it. And I think it's really interesting. But recap, like I said, what is AI? What is deep learning? What is machine learning? How do they all feed into this end product, which is artificial intelligence? ChatGPT, I can finally say the word. I need to practice saying that word. But that was kind of like the first mainstream AI model presented to the public, and it's great that it's presented to the public. And best thing with ChatGPT plus version, and then eventually be able to use plugins. And then use cases of AI, like what's the point of AI? You hear all the doomsday stuff about AI, but there's lots of positive stuff that comes with AI too. Just think about the internet. Lots of good, lots of bad. Just kind of deal with it. All right. And you need to learn how to use AI. The best way to learn, start with prompt engineering. Better your input, the better your output's going to be. So I'm going to leave it at that. I don't think there's any comments for anything or for anyone. So next topic, let's go ahead. I was thinking of a couple topics. I was going to do invest in treasuries because I actually opened up a treasury account today. I made my first purchase in treasuries. Congratulations. Ooh. But that's probably going to wait. I'm going to wait like a week or so once I kind of make the purchase already. I think the next auction available is November 2nd. So uh, that one, I wouldn't have anything in my account technically until after that auction is completed. So probably a week or so down the line. I'm going to talk about emotional intelligence next. I talked about that. It's one I really wanted to do. I need to spend time. I know a decent amount of emotional intelligence. They actually should teach this in school more. They should have a. There was this one teacher. It's great. He was just kind of like a guest speaker in one of my, believe my marketing class, and his name was Marcucci. I forget what his first name was, Mark or something. But he was gonna do like an EQ class, emotional intelligence 101 class at BYU, but he ended up never doing it, which I was unfortunate because I 100% wanted to do it. Honestly, I would go back to school in order to take that class because he's a really successful, high EQ guy. But super important, whether it be business, social skills, getting to know friends, dating, whatever. Higher your emotional intelligence is, the more successful you're going to be in life. I think emotional intelligence is more important than health, just intelligence in general. So we're gonna talk about that on Thursday, and we're gonna have fun tomorrow night. The game. I'm gonna watch some NBA now. All right, catch y'all later. Y'all know what time it is. Cue that outro.